All right, guys, now I'm going to show you a real easy way to get your section view of your foundation from your previous drawing. Remember the drawing we did earlier last semester where we created the section view, and we did it for a brick wall. There's going to be a couple of differences, so we'll have to make some edits to it. Okay, but if you remember doing that foundation section view, that's what we're about to pull in. Okay, and in order to pull that in, what we need to do is find that project and put it in our catalog over here. So I've actually already got the project open right here. Okay, so this is that view. Now what I did is I went to insert, the insert tab right here. I went to create block and I clicked on create block. Then I named it. Okay, so this one you're going to name, and I'm not going to actually go through the whole thing because I've already done it once, and I don't want to make a different copy of it. So you're going to do this: foundation section brick. Okay, because it has a brick wall, the foundation is made a little bit differently. So you're going to call it that. You're going to hit OK. And then you're going to specify an insertion point. Okay, specify an insertion point right here, anywhere you want to, really. Okay, and then it says select object. So you're going to select the object. And then you're going to hit the enter button. So you just turned that into a block. You turned that whole drawing into a block. Now, how do you access that? Let's go back to our original drawing, the one we were just working on with that foundation. Okay, and here's our blocks library. We're going to click on this little icon right here because we're going to bring in that new block or that drawing. So we actually go to our documents, which is where AutoCAD is going to be saving your work as you save that, right here in documents. Okay, now I know some of you have probably been saving to OneDrive, which is good to do that, but you really should save to your documents first and then back it up to OneDrive. Don't save it directly to OneDrive, but that's really up to you how you do that. We do need backup copies of those. Okay, so anyway, here is that project right here. Okay, I'm going to click on that and I'm going to click open, and it's going to bring in all the blocks from that project. Here's that foundation block right here. So I'm going to take that foundation block and just drag it over here into the drawing. Okay, and then there we are. Now we have to do some editing to it because this is a wood wall. It's not a brick wall. So I'm going to actually make another block out of it. So I'm going to go to create block, click here, and I'm going to call this foundation section wood wall. Okay, click OK. Specify the insertion base point right here in the corner, and then select the object itself and hit enter. Okay, so now just double check and make sure that you are working on the new block that we named for the wood wall. And you just click on it and highlight it like this, then come over here into your properties and look for the name right down here. Okay, and just hold your cursor over it and it'll highlight the whole name. It'll say foundation section wood wall. We do this because we want to save that section view with the brick wall. We want to save that because we might use that sometime later. Okay, so we want to save that. So that's why when we drug it in here, we actually saved it again and named it something different because we're going to edit this one. We don't want to edit the one with the brick wall. Now, how do you edit this? Real simple. You double click on it. Okay, and it's going to edit block definition, and it's going to suggest something right down here, and that's perfectly fine. It says foundation section wood wall, and I'm just going to click OK. And I'm going into a window where I can edit the block. Move my little things there around. Now, to make this for a wood wall, there's a couple of different things we have to do. Okay, first is we're going to get rid of the brick wall. So we're going to select all of the brick wall. And for some reason, it is selecting the whole thing. It's not supposed to do that. Save, yeah. Okay, I think I see what it's doing. It's actually referencing us back to the brick wall, and we don't want it to do that. Okay, let me cancel that. I'm going to double click on it again, go back into the edit, make sure I'm on the wood wall, click OK. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to see if I can explode that. And yes, I can. There we go. So I clicked on it and then I hit the explode button. So that exploded the whole thing. Now everything is all separate entities. So let's get rid of the brick wall right there. Okay, and we're going to keep the sheathing, but we're going to add something to it here in just a second. But let's go ahead and make it the height that it should be. And I'm having trouble finding a grip so that I can actually move that. Probably going to have to move this line first. Let's go ahead and move this line up and put it right up here. Or actually, let's just delete it. That would be a better idea. Now I can find the grip for the shading. Okay. Now I'm going to delete that line. I don't want to delete that one because it goes all the way up the wall. But I'm going to bring it up to right here. Okay, so we're drawing in here just like we would draw in CAD. It's just everything is black. Okay, close that off. Now I want to take this line and extend it. I'm going to, reference that vertical line. And then I'm going to extend this line to that line. Okay, next thing we need to do is we need to select all of this break line. Just click on each part of the break line, then click on move, and let's move it up out of the way. Now we're going to move this wall. Actually, first, before we move the wall, we're going to go ahead and put the wood siding on the outside. Okay, we're just going to do a real simple vertical wood siding. We're not going to do anything special. And it's going to be 1 inch thick wood siding. And we're going to, that's a 1 foot offset. We need it to be a 1 inch offset. We're going to select this line, offset it. Okay, and then we'll come back later and we'll actually add a pattern to that. All right, now we're going to move this entire wall out to the edge over here. So I'm going to select all that. I'm going to come back over here, make sure I get all of this selected, all of my parts that go along with that wall. I'm going to click on the move tool, and then I'm going to click it right here in this corner, move it all the way over here to this corner. All right, now right here is sort of the way I did my anchor bolt, and I'm just going to delete it. Kind of drew it in 2 different layers there. Okay. And even the leaders that were attached to this actually came with it. That's pretty neat. Everything else will stay the same. Nothing else will change. Okay. Don't worry about how the dimensions are reading out right now. It's just because we're in a different mode is the reason it's doing that. Okay. Now we can take this break line and move it back. See, I think that's going to be the best way to move that. Line it up, click it, and then so we'll take this line, move it back down here. You see I got a little bit sticking out up here, so I can either trim that. I think I can just trim it. No, it's going to cut that whole line. It doesn't want me to. Okay, so what I'll have to do is click all my lines again and get really close and try to get that thing up where it should be. And we'll need to select a base point. I'll just do this one. Move it right there. Perfect. Right there. And we can actually extend that line. Okay, so I'm almost finished. Only thing I need to do is put a pattern inside of a hatching inside of the wood siding. So I'm going to go to the hatch tool. And I think there is some wood. There used to be. Zigzag. Okay. Yeah, there used to be some wood. Maybe not so much anymore. So we're just going to choose that same diagonal right here. Actually, let's do this diagonal right there. We're going to come inside of it, place it. Okay, now you have to annotate that also to say what it is. Now you have to remove brick ledge because we don't have a brick ledge anymore. Everything else would stay the same. So where I just had brick ledge, you would probably just put another annotation pointing to this and calling that a wood siding. Okay. Now the only other thing, there's one more thing that's going to change, and I almost forgot about it. Okay, and let's go ahead and select this again, this break line. We're going to move it up 2 inches. So we're going to click move, grab it by a base point, move it just a little bit, and then type 2 inches. We're going to do the same thing with all of the wall. Click all of the wall, come in here, make sure you get all of the other parts that go with it right there. We're going to click move. And then we're going to just find a point, move it up a little bit, make sure it stays in line, and type 2 inches. Okay. And then we're going to pick the top line of the slab. We're going to click on the center grip, move it up, type in 2 inches. Then we're going to find the hatching down here, the concrete hatching, and click on the concrete hatching. And we're going to fix that. We're going to move this up to here. We're going to eliminate the little brick ledge. Okay, and there we go. Okay. Oops, I am missing a line, so we need to extend that up here. Okay, then click on the Save button, which close block editor. Let's first click Save right over here. I think it's going to ask us to do so again once we click the Close Block Editor. Save changes. Okay, now in our job, we've got that. We've got the section view of that foundation without the brick ledge. Okay, so there we go. Okay, now the dimensions you're going to have to change. Now, when you're in this view, what you're going to do is you're just going to delete all your dimensions. Okay, and this is just how it has to be done. I tried to figure out a couple other ways to do it, but it won't work. Then just save your work, save changes, and then come back here, and you're going to go to annotation and annotative dimension. Okay, set it for annotative. Click on here to edit that. Go to modify and change this right here. It says unit format decimal. Change it to architectural. And let's look for, we want to fit note text is what we want. Okay, right now it's set at 3/16. Let's go ahead and accept that and see what it's going to do for us. Click on close and then linear dimension. And then let's go ahead and dimension that, and perfect, just like that. So that's 1 foot 5 inches. And down here, got to dimension that. And then we got to dimension from here to here. Okay, and that's all the dimensions that you need. Oh, actually, we do need a dimension here as well. So let's do this like this. Let's move this one. We're going to do a stacked dimension. We'll move this one right out here just like that. We'll take this one, do it just like that. Okay, oops. We want to pull that out to about right here. And then we're going to continue dimension and go to right here. Okay, so that would take care of all of your dimensioning. Okay, so there we go. We have our very small section detail in our plan. Okay, Now, once we get done with this plan, I'll kind of show you some things that we're going to do with these really small details. Of course, if you pan out or zoom out, you really can't see it that well. That's fine. We're going to do something else with it to make it visible. Okay, so hopefully that helped you. Please email me any questions if you have them.